Hello, friends. Steve here, and Bastet, the cat. She hates being on YouTube. No, she doesn't. She could care less. Care less. I'm fairly excited because, and I'm going to hopefully do this fairly quickly, but not in a hurrying frame. You can go back and digest it later because I've got lots of information to give you at this time. So, I've just spoken about all these things for so many years and been working with these energetics based on the incarnation of the being Abrahamanad in 1997. And I was given some information about what was going to be happening over the next 28 years, culminating in a completion of a body, mind, emotion, spiritual cleansing that was completing in March 24th of 2025. And then it seemed to keep going, and I'm like, what the heck? So it's, you know, it was a year from March 24th, 2025 to March 24th, 2026. And then they began to show me, they being the voices in my head and the beings that I've been working with for many years, they began to show me that all of this energy was going to be culminating with the end of the Mayan calendar year, which is March or July 24th, 25th, day at a time. But that's the end of the cycle. And July 26th is the beginning of the new cycle of the calendar year, but the Mayan calendar fits into these huge 26,000 year cycles and all these different things that I just can't talk about, but I can give you small glimpses of them. So I happen to be at invited to the walking of these spiral labyrinths for the solstice that occurred a month or so ago. And at the time, they spoke about another event that was coming up, which is Barbault's basket, which is the alignment of these four planets at 4 degrees in their various places in space, which is a time of tremendous opening to change. It's referred to as a threshold. And I was told that this was all coming in to happen towards the end of July. And it turns out that we're installing the third spiral labyrinth of the three. So there's two already installed with stones. And we're installing the third one on the 19th, which is the first day of Barbault's alignment of the planets. It's just, I'm not into astrology that much. I know it works, and I have lots of friends who do astrology, and I listen to it from time. I can't understand it, but I'm starting to get the picture like this is all happening 360 degrees, and I get all that. So, one of my spiritual advisors, who goes by the whatever those things are called at Harjanus. Now, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but she informed me that there's this whole alignment of planets. She spoke about it. I asked her to write a little bit about it. She wrote about it. I looked it up. I read about it. I'm going to read it today. And I'm going to look and see that it took me 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes to just tell you what I was going to do. But this may take a few minutes for me to go through it. So, July 2026, this is being referred to as humanity's threshold. The rare 4-degree alignment that could change everything. A moment of transformation, a shift in consciousness, a new chapter for humanity. We are the change. And any of you who have been following me for the last 2.5 years have heard me just talk about that repeatedly. And I'm going to go through and read this, and I'm going to attempt to be grounded while I read it, because I haven't been quite this excited in this lifetime. The rare 4-degree alignment that could change everything. And you might want to play it back at a slower speed, if that's possible. If you felt as though the world has been changing faster than your heart can keep pace, you're not imagining it. Around us, familiar systems are shifting. Technology is evolving at breathtaking speed. Institutions are being questioned. Old ways of living, working, and relating no longer seem to fit the world that is emerging. At times, it can feel as though everything is falling like dominoes. Yet, what if collapse isn't the whole story? What if appears to be breaking apart is also making space for something entirely new? Astrologically, July 2026 may represent one of those rare moments when the heavens reflect exactly that possibility, something entirely new. As the calendar turns to July 2026, astrologers around the world are paying close attention to an extraordinary convergence of planetary cycles, peaking around 19 to the 21st of July and centered on 20th of July. Several outer planets align near 4 degrees of their respective signs, forming an exceptionally rare and harmonious geometric pattern known as Barbault's basket. Barbault, I think. It's French. This configuration is widely viewed as a symbolic threshold, a powerful moment within a much larger evolutionary process. While no single day determines humanity's destiny, this alignment offers an unusually supportive opportunity to consciously participate in the next chapter of our collective story. Just let that in and ground it. Okay. It reminds us that history often changes gradually before it changes suddenly. Rather than signaling doom, it invites evolution. Rather than predicting collapse, remember this last year has been the Tower card. Rather than predicting collapse, it reveals the possibility of renewal, which the Tower card is. After years dominated by Pluto's journey through Capricorn and its necessary dismantling of outdated structures, July 2026 offers a glimpse of what may emerge in their place. The anatomy of Barbault's basket. French mundane astrologer André Barbault spent decades studying long planetary cycles and their relationship to world events. He believed planetary cycles reflected the unfolding story of civilization and regarded configurations such as this as among the most constructive signatures of the 21st century, describing them as a potential splendid relaunch of civilization. The pattern forms through a supportive network of flowing trines and sextiles. I think that's 3 and 6, creating what astrologers called a basket or cradle. Rather than creating conflict, these aspects allow the planetary energies to reinforce and support one another. Whoa. Around mid to late July 2026, the principal planets gather near the remarkable 4-degree mark. Jupiter at approximately 4 degrees Leo, which is about expanding creativity, courage, leadership, generosity, and the wisdom of the heart. My hair's standing straight up. Pluto at approximately 4 degrees Aquarius, transforming collective systems, technology, communities, and our relationship with power. Neptune at approximately 4 degrees Aries, inspiring new spiritual vision, courage, and pioneering ideals. In Uranus at approximately 4 degrees Gemini, awakening innovation, communication, education, and revolutionary ideas. Nearby, Saturn in Aries provides grounding and structure, helping new visions to take practical form. As the moon travels through Libra around this period, some astrologers note it may temporarily complete an almost perfect grand sextile, six-sided, sometimes called the Star of David pattern, a configuration long associated with harmony, integration, and balance. It is not the number 4 itself that is extraordinary. It's the remarkable synchronization. 4 slow-moving planets, the architects of historical change, interacting harmoniously at virtually the same degree is exceptionally uncommon. The Jupiter-Pluto opposition, a relationship with power. At the heart of the alignment lies the dynamic relationship between Jupiter and Pluto, exact around 20 July. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. Pluto transforms whatever has reached the end of its natural life. Together they ask one profound question. Not who will have power, but how power will be used. Within the Leo-Aquarius axis, individual creativity meets collective responsibility. Leo reminds us that every great change begins with one person having the courage to express their authentic self. Aquarius reminds us that no individual exists apart from the whole. Who else has reminded you of that? Astrologers often associate this axis with periods that invite significant shifts in leadership, innovation, and humanity's relationship with power. While history never repeats itself exactly, similar themes have emerged whenever collective values undergo profound transformation. The beauty of this alignment is that it does not ask us to choose between self and society. Instead, it invites us to discover how our unique gifts become our contribution to humanity. Collectively, this may coincide with new models of leadership rooted in authenticity rather than authority, rapid advances in technology, communication, and artificial intelligence, greater collaboration between individuals, communities, and nations, a reimagining of how power is shared rather than hoarded, and creative solutions emerging from challenges that once seemed impossible. The central question shifts from who holds the power to how can power serve the highest good. How can power serve the highest good? When old structures fall, nature rarely builds without first creating space. Every forest grows from fallen leaves. Every butterfly emerges only after the caterpillar dissolves within the chrysalis. Every new chapter begins with the ending of another. The years leading to 2026 have shown us that many of the systems humanity has relied upon are changing rapidly. While this uncertainty can feel unsettling, astrology encourages us to view these transitions through a wider lens. Pluto has always asked, what has reached the end of its natural life? When we stop resisting that question, endings begin to reveal themselves as beginnings. The dominoes may continue to fall. Perhaps what is falling isn't the future. Perhaps it's everything that can no longer support it. July 2026, within a much bigger story. This alignment does not exist in isolation. It activates a series of profound planetary shifts shaping the decades ahead. Early in the month, Mars conjunct Uranus in Gemini may spark bold ideas, technological breakthroughs, and unexpected developments. Mercury retrograde in Cancer invites emotional reflection before action. Anybody else would experience that? Emotional reflection before action? Later in July, the lunar nodes shift into Aquarius and Leo for an 18-month cycle, reinforcing themes of collective progress and heart-centered leadership. A powerful Aquarius full moon further illustrates this evolutionary axis. These movements build upon the larger story already unfolding: Pluto's long journey through Aquarius, Neptune's new cycle in Aries, Saturn helping transform ideas into reality, Uranus accepting innovation and communication through Gemini, and Jupiter encouraging courageous self-expression in Leo. Many astrologers see 2026 not as a dramatic ending, but as the beginning of a decades-long cultural, technological, and spiritual renaissance. And what this means for you: breathe. What it means for you is breathe. While this alignment speaks to humanity as a whole, each of us experiences it personally. If you have natal planets or important chart points near 4 degrees of Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio, you may feel its influence more directly. Yet regardless of your birth chart, the invitation remains the same. Jupiter asks you to express your gifts without apology. Pluto asks you to release outdated patterns of control. Neptune invites you to trust a larger vision, and Uranus encourages you to remain open to possibilities you have never previously imagined. In the days surrounding July 20th, take time to reflect. 1. What am I ready to release? And we'll be doing this all the way up to the night till tomorrow, which is the 19th. What am I ready to release? What unique gift am I being called to share? Remember, astrology offers symbols rather than certainties. It describes cycles of potential, not fixed outcomes. The future has never been written in the stars alone. It has always been shaped by the choices we make together. The choice before us. Every threshold presents a choice. Humanity has crossed many thresholds throughout history. We discovered fire. We learned to write. We crossed oceans. We reached the moon. We entered the digital age. Each discovery expanded what it meant to be human. Each threshold asked us to become more than we had been before. July 2026 may represent I'm just going to say this. I've worked so hard and been very diligent to reach this point, and it's here. July 2026 may represent another of those remarkable moments in time. Not because the planets will force change upon us, but because they remind us that evolution is life's most natural rhythm. The real threshold is not found only in the heavens. It exists within each of us. I'm just going to ground this energy for a minute. I still want to do it that way. There's change right there. Every choice made from courage rather than fear. Every act of kindness instead of division. Every moment we choose love over control becomes part of the future we are collectively creating. The future is not waiting somewhere ahead of us. It's being born through every choice we make today. The stars may illuminate the path, but it's humanity that walks it. And perhaps years from now, we will look back on July 2026, not as the moment the world changed, but as the moment we realized we could. I am going to, okay, I'm going to finish this the last little bit. If this article resonates with you, you may enjoy exploring my books on astrology, human design, self-awareness, and spiritual growth. Each one is written to help you better understand yourself, navigate life cycles, and reconnect with your own inner wisdom. Visit my Amazon author page to discover all of my books. Thank you for being part of the Remember This Cosmic Insights community. With gratitude and starlight, Sandra. That is it. That is all. 23 minutes and 23 seconds, and I am done and out of here. Thank you so much. It's been a joy.